Okay, today we're adding fireballs. So now we'll have a way to fight back. We have sprites. We need to make a fireball sprite, so I right-click on that. And here I say create sprite. My version of Game Maker is a little different than yours. Yours will just say create, but then there's another list that pops up, and make sure to say sprite. Put sprites in the sprite folder. It makes the sprite for us. And again, our naming convention is we start with SPR underscore, and then whatever it's a picture of, and this is going to be the fireball. So there's our fireball. We don't want to edit a fireball. It's kind of hard to make these graphics. There is a book online in the S drive on how to make computer game graphics. If you're interested and you're an artist and you want to learn about that, there's a book there, right there in the S drive. But here, say import, and I'm going to the S drive and I'm grabbing, well, that's my S drive. I'm going to Game Design 1, Evil Clutches, there's our game, and go to Resources. And here I've got it set so I can see what they look like, so I set them to medium icon so I can see, and I'm looking for the fireball. There's the fireball. It goes from left to right. Okay, it's kind of big. How big is it? 64 by 64. Well, we'll see once we. Yeah, it's kind of a weird size, 50 by 48. So kind of strange. It's not animated. It only has one frame, but we do want the background to be able to show through. In the old version of Game Maker, whatever color was in this bottom pixel here was the transparent color, but now they've kind of updated their files to be able to show a transparent color. So what we do is we say edit image. So edit image. So we're editing this image, and we're going to remove that brown color so that we can see behind the fireball. Okay? So now the fireball will look a lot better. It won't have this big brown box around it. Okay. So that's all I got to do for the fireball. You just have to, for the sprite at least, just import it and then take away the background color. Okay? So then next, we can't do anything with a sprite. We have to, in order to make this work, we need an object. So let's make a fireball object. That's what we're trying to do now. So I'm right-clicking here, and I'm saying Create Object. And here's our fireball. Fireball. And here we set the sprite to fireball. Okay. Okay, so what do we want our fireball to do? Well, we want it to destroy stuff. That's true. Destroy demons, I guess. We don't want to destroy babies, and we keep going back to that. What's the behavior of the fireball when you create it? Well, we want it to shoot across the screen, so maybe we do that first. We add this event, and we say create. So when the fireball gets created, this is when our fire key is going to be the space bar. But when the fireball gets created, what do we want it to do? Well, what do we want it to do is, well, first we want to get it moving. Well, first we want to set its direction. So I would say direction here, direction. And here there's this one here, set direction fixed. We want our fireballs to always shoot off to the right. Okay, it's always coming, we want it to come out of the dragon's mouth and then shoot off to the right. So that's the first thing. But we have to give it a speed. If we don't give it a speed, it'll just sit there and it won't move. So we say speed here. And here we want it to go pretty fast. So I think the number is 16. That might be too fast. Let's try 8. Yeah, 8's too slow. Let's try 16. Again, you can kind of fudge this number, try to figure out which one's best for your game. But I'm going to say 16. And that will shoot it across the screen. That's good. So let's try that. How do we get this to trigger? Well, that's going to be in the dragon. The dragon is going to be the controller here because the fireball is coming from the dragon. We might as well have the dragon control the firing. Okay, so there's a lot of side conversations going on. If you could just quiet down a bit. I am trying to make a recording, so just keep it. You can talk to each other, but keep it a little bit quieter. All right, so here we are. The dragon's getting really busy. A lot of things going on. So we're going to add another key, and we're going to do. I'm hesitant to do a key down event because key down events repeat. You know, key press might be a better event. So let's do that. Key press only happens once. If you want it to happen again, you have to pick it up and press it again. And for a fire key, it's probably better to do it that way. So here we say key pressed event space. So it's a little bit different than a key down event, okay? Because it doesn't repeat. And then so what do we want to do? Well, when they press it, we just want to create a fireball. So we say create here. See this little light bulb thing? That's how you create other objects. Remember the word instance and objects are pretty much the same word. So they call it create instance. What are we creating? Well, we're creating a fireball. So we choose fireball. Next, what do you want to create? Well, we want to create, where do we want to create it, I mean? And we want to create it wherever the dragon is. So we're going to say relative here, relative. It'll be on the instances layer just like everything else except for the background, I guess. And that's all we got to do to create it. So let's try it. I always like to try things as soon as I create them. So here I'm firing. Oh, it's not working. Why? Try again. Why didn't mine work? I think I didn't click in the window. Sometimes you have to click in the window. Yeah, there's my fireballs. The fireballs don't do anything, right? Because we haven't created any collision events yet. And there's a couple other problems. If you notice quickly, here I'm firing, and the fireballs aren't coming out the right spot. They're originating behind the dragon's head, and that's not what we want. Okay, so we've got to relocate this fireball. I want to make this game a little easier to play, so I can do some illustrations. So let's do that next. Actually, we're going to make this game, the room, a little bit taller, so that you can actually play the game a little bit better. So here I'm going to add a little bit to the height. I think 640 is a little bit too much. Makes the games a little too easy. So maybe I don't know, 520. Doesn't seem like much. That's 40 pixels taller. Let's see what that does. It gives you a little bit more space. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm kind of just fudging it here, just trying to see 540. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, you have enough room to kind of move around. We set our background to stretch, so it's being stretched to match our room size. So that's good. So maybe that, if you make it too big, it might be too easy to play, I guess. So you got to be really careful here on these numbers. But you can put whatever you think is best for your program and your speed. Okay, so this will allow me to live a little bit longer, so I can illustrate a little bit more of these things. Yeah, question. Oh yeah, to make it so you can't fire so fast. Yeah, so we're going to control rate of fire here shortly. Right now, if you spam the space bar, you can really. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, sorry, I got to try again. Stop. Go. Why is that working? Okay, so here I can spam a lot of fireballs. That's too many, right? If you didn't use a key press event and you use a keyboard event, then you're going to get lots of lots of fireballs. Let me show you what happens when you do that. So instead of a key press event, space event, you change this to, and I'm not saying you should do this, I'm just showing you how not to do this, actually. So we're going to change this event. Let's see if I can change it. Change event, yeah. So I'm going to change it to a key down space event. Watch what happens if you just hold the key down. You get this huge stream of fireballs. Fireballs. See, that'll make the game too easy to play. Okay. That's why we didn't use a key down event. Yeah. Fire, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so how do you control the rate of fire? Well, let's do that now. First, if you did change this, change it back to key press event, first of all. And I'll show you how I do it. It's a little bit strange, but it does work. What you do is so what I do is I create a variable here in the create event, and I call it. So we're creating our own variable. It's not one of the predefined ones, and so here if you say variable, yeah, that one, var, this one. Okay, we're going to create our own variable, and we're going to call it this. Can shoot. So this is what tells you whether you can shoot or not. So you'll get the key press, but then you'll check this one to see if you can shoot or not. And if you can, then you'll shoot, and if you can't, you can't. But what we want to do is we only want to shoot, well, we'll start can shoot out at 0, okay? And then the next thing we do, this is kind of weird, is we have this. Do we have it? We don't have one yet. So there's an event, and we talked about this event before. It's called the step event, and this happens every frame. And so what we're going to do here in the step event, so you say add event, you go to step. Where's step? There it is. Step. It's kind of redundant, but you make a step event, okay? Here's the step event. And what do we want to do there? We just want to add 1 to can shoot, okay? Why are we adding 1 to can shoot? We'll see in a second. So how do you add 1? Yeah, you just say 1 relative. Relative means to add to it, okay? So every frame it's going to add 1 to can shoot. It starts out at 0, and every frame it gets 1. But this is how we control the rate of fire then. When we actually fire, right, and that's the space bar here. Oh, wait. Where did my thing go? Maybe it disappeared. So what was that? Oh, I have 2 space things. I said create. Yeah, there's that. Here's the key press event. Here's the key down event. That's what I want to do. So let me just copy that. And I'm going to go here. And I'll press paste. And then I'm going to get rid of the other one. Yeah, we don't want a key down event on this fire key. That would be bad. Okay. Okay, so now we have a key press event space. Right now we're creating this fireball. But in addition to creating a fireball, we're going to set a can shoot to, I don't know, let's say -40. Okay. So anytime we fire, we're gonna change the can shoot variable. I didn't change the variable name, so can shoot to -40. Well, that still doesn't answer our question of how does this control the rate of fire? Well, we're going to add a question to the top of this, okay? So I grab this if thing. If. We've used it last time. And we're going to test can shoot to see if it's greater than see if it's greater than 0, okay? And only then can we shoot, okay? So we can control the rate of fire that way. Another way you can control rate of fire is you can make this rule that you can only have one fireball on the screen at any time. That's another way to control rate of fire. So what I've done is I've dragged these two things, this ability to shoot. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. This ability to shoot, these two things inside of this. So it will only allow you to fire if can't shoot is greater than 0. Well, we set can't shoot to -40 every time we fire. So every frame is going to add 1 to that -40. And then 40 frames later, you're going to be able to shoot again. Okay? So let's try that and see if that works. And so my rate of fire is pretty slow. You see that was kind of too slow. So if you want to increase your rate of fire, what you do is you make this number a little bit bigger. So here we would say 30 then, -30. And what we want to try to find is that sweet spot where you don't have too many fireballs, but you have enough to keep yourself safe. Okay, so that's still a little laggy, right? So maybe 25. Okay. So by adjusting that number, you can dial in the rate of fire, this is why I like doing it this way, is you can, darn it. I don't know what's going on here. Stop, play, try again. Okay, so here I am, and I'm firing away. Okay, so that's okay. If you think that's okay, you can use that number, -25. If you want a faster rate of fire, well, then you use -20 or -15 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, step event. What did I do in the step event? Okay, so let's go over that whole process. Okay, you're shooting a fireball. So what initiates it? Well, it's when you press the space bar. So what we do is that's what we were just looking at. But then here in the create event, we have to create that variable. So we made this can't shoot variable. Make sure not to click relative, because at this point the variable doesn't exist. And if you try to add to a non-existent variable, your game crashes. So don't click relative there. And then in the step event, you simply just add 1 to can't shoot every step. So you add 1 to can't shoot. Every frame you add 1. So what you're saying is, how often frame rise can you shoot? If you say -40, that means every 40 frames. If you say -20, that's every 20 frames. It's all based on the frame rate. Your unit of time when you create video games is not like seconds. It's frames. How many frames do you do this, or how many frames do you do that? Okay? All right, so that's how you control the rate of fire. Now, this is probably a little bit, and perhaps too complicated. Another way you could do it is you could just count how many fireballs are on the screen. And if there's any more than 0, then don't fire. You only allow 1 fireball at a time on the screen. But most people don't like that. So, okay, so now we've got the rate of fire taken care of, but we're still dying too soon because right now our fireballs aren't doing anything. They're just firing. One big problem that you may not notice is that we create a lot of fireballs, but we don't get rid of them. Just like with the babies and the demons, when they go off screen, we don't want the computer to have to keep track of where they are anymore. We're never going to see them again, so we might as well destroy them. So here in our fireball object, it would be a good idea when it goes outside the room to destroy it. So here we say create event, other, and this one outside room. Okay, so once the fireball's completely outside of the room, then we want to destroy self. So you type the word destroy here. See that one, destroy? Okay, so where is this? Just to go back, we're in the fireball. we add the outside room event. We say add event, other, outside room. It's that first one. And then what do we want it to do? We want it to destroy itself, right? So remember this little triangle tells you what you're destroying. Here it says self. That's what we want. We want the fireball to destroy itself. Once it realizes it's not inside the room anymore, it basically destroys itself. Okay. Now it's not going to look any different, but it's going to be nicer to the game engine if you get rid of things you're never going to see anymore. Because it's outside of the room when it disappears, so you're not going to see that. But it's a good thing to do. Another thing that's bugging me about the fireball is it's not being started in the right position. We would really like it to come out of the dragon's mouth, but now it's coming from the back of the dragon's head, and that doesn't look very good. So we got to scoot it over a little bit. If we look at the dragon sprite, we see that the top left corner is the origin. We want the fireball to be right over here, just right in front of the dragon's mouth. So we know that the sprite is 135 pixels wide. So maybe that's our offset for X. And for Y, that looked pretty good. I think the vertically is at the right spot, but not horizontally. So we need to scoot that over 135 pixels in relation to this dragon. So where is that? So that would be in the dragon when we hit the space bar. So we create this fireball, but it asks us, we say it's relative to the dragon, right? But we want to scoot it over a little bit. So we're going to say 135, which is the width of the dragon sprite, or even better, you could say dragon, or you could say sprite width. That would be even better. Sprite width. You got it. You might as well use that variable. And that's the width of the sprite. So we want to move it to the right of the dragon. That's better, I think. And so now when we try it, hopefully the fireballs will start in front of the dragon, not behind their head. Yeah, that looks okay. You could scoot it back a little bit, but that's not bad. Okay. So now the fireballs are coming out of the right spot. But like I said, they still don't do anything. They just kind of go across the screen. So we got to make them interact with the things they're supposed to interact with. Well, what are the things that the sprite or the fireball is supposed to interact with? And that's the demons and the babies, unfortunately. So let's look at the demons first, because that's probably what you're thinking of. Okay. So Aaron, can you change that background? It's really quite distracting. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'm starting to have seizures back here. Okay, so now how do we get the fireball to interact with the demons? I guess we just need a collision event. So we go to the fireball, since it's I always think of it as the main thing, I guess. And then we're going to add a collision event. So when the fireball collides with a demon, what do we want it to do? Okay, so we're in the fireball object, collides with the demon. What do we want it to do? Well, we want to get rid of the demon, right? So that's easy enough. We say destroy. But remember, you got to be careful here, because this destroy thing, the default is destroy self. We don't want to destroy the fireball. That's self. We want to destroy the demon. So what you do here is you say other. Okay. A lot of people would say, oh, we say demon. Well, what that would do is get rid of all the demons in the whole room, in the whole game. That's not what we want. We just want to get rid of that other thing we collided with. So here, it's important to choose other. If you leave it at self, the fireball is going to destroy itself. If you choose demon, it's going to kill all the demons in the entire game. And I don't think you want that. So here's other. Okay. So now, even now it lists it. It used to be you couldn't see it, but now they've added here so you can see it's on other. Yeah. Yeah, all would be interesting. Probably kills every object in the game, maybe? It'd be fun to try, just to see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's like, if you choose demon here, well, watch what happens if you choose demon. I'm not sure what all would do, but if you choose demon, you hit one demon and all the demons disappear. So, well, you can tell there. See that? There. See how they all disappeared? So that's uber fireball. Maybe you could use that later, but that's not the behavior you want. It makes the game too easy, right? Okay, so you don't want to destroy all the demons. You just want to destroy some of the demons. Now, if we said all, I wonder what would happen. That's kind of, yeah, everything, even yourself. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it destroys everything. Yeah, so don't choose all. That's like a nuke. Okay, you just nuked everything. Okay, so choose other. That other thing you crashed into, which is in this case a demon. And we know that because that's the event we're in. We're in the collision event with the demon. So it will destroy that other thing from the point of view of the fireball. And now you've just destroyed one demon. But you also need to get a score for that. It's good to kill demons. Demons are evil. Okay, so you need to update the score. So how do you update the score? Well, you can type in score here. Oh, good point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, so we also want to destroy the fireball too. I forgot about that. Otherwise, the fireball keeps going throughout the room and kills everything on its path. The fireball should probably only kill one thing. So let's fix that first. Well, we're here, so yeah, let's go back to destroy. It's a really good point. Okay, so not only do we want to destroy the demon, but also the fireball too. So here we can just use the default itself. Okay. Why is this a good idea? It's because you don't want the fireball to kill more than one demon at a time. Say you have a line of demons. This will go through the entire room and kill every demon because the fireball is indestructible, let's say. But you're the game maker. If you want to make the game a little easier, maybe you make the fireballs, they persist. They get rid of things in front of them and they keep going. You know, it's up to you. You're the game maker. Okay, so we've destroyed the other thing. We've destroyed ourselves. We're in the fireball. Now we need to set the score. Now a lot of people think if you destroy yourself, then that's it. Anything you do after that point, you just destroyed yourself. So anything you might do doesn't happen because you're not there anymore. But it doesn't actually destroy it until it's done with the whole thing here. So you don't have to worry about that. So here you say score. So we're saying that if you save a baby, you get 500 points, right? That's what we were saying earlier. What should the score be for killing demons? Is it as good as saving babies? Well, saving babies is really good. Maybe demons is maybe not so much, but still pretty good. So maybe I'm thinking about 300 points. Okay, so you get 300 points for killing a demon. And you want to make that relative. You don't want to set the score to 300. You'll just make the score 300. You want to add to the score. So you click on relative instead. Okay. So now we can score. We can destroy demons. That's good. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm killing demons. There's a demon I can kill. There's another demon. Now I have some ammunition, and I can survive a little bit longer. Okay. All right, rate of fire might be a little too slow. I don't know. But again, you can dial it in. So far, I'm killing demons. I'm staying alive a little bit longer. This is good. Yeah, so still kind of hard. Okay, but you can see my score was going up. You want to make sure that when you're destroying demons that the score's going up. So let me just verify that. I didn't quite look at that. Okay, so there's my score. There's a demon. Yeah. No, it's not moving. So why isn't it moving? Well, the problem is this score that we set is in the wrong object. Okay. What it does, if you do it this way, is it's setting the score in the fireball. And we're not showing the Fireball score, we're showing the Dragon score. So how do we do this? Well, you could say, yeah, you could change this to Object Dragon, because that's where the score is located. It's inside the Dragon. The Dragon's the one keeping score. There's only one Dragon, so you can get away with this here. There's only one Object Dragon. Okay, let's see if the score goes up when I shoot the demons. Yeah, now it's going up. So we got to make sure we didn't break the babies. But yeah, I think the babies will work now too. So when you set the score, make sure you say, oh, that score we're setting is over here in the Dragon. Okay, make sure to choose Dragon here. Yours will look a little different because you have a little different version of GameMaker here, but it's probably in a folder called Objects. So open that and then choose the Dragon. Okay. So now we got the score up to date. We've got fireballs. We've controlled the rate of fire. What else is there to do? I think that's everything. There's one more thing, and we're going to put a target score. Yeah? Okay, we'll come over. Let me pause. We want a way to win. Okay, so way to win is we want a target score, okay? Just to tell them that they won. That way the game kind of has a point. You're trying to win. So where would you put that? Well, our Dragon is probably the best spot to determine whether we're winning or not because it has the score inside of it itself. So we already have a step event, so we might as well put this in the step event. So in the step event, we add one to can't shoot, but we also need to check to see if we won here. Okay. So if you type score here, score, see this one here, it says if score. So we'll do that, and we're gonna check the score, and we're gonna see if the score is greater than or equal to. Well, we get 500 points for every baby. So if we save 20 babies, say we have 20 babies, that's I don't know. That's our score is 10,000, I guess. 10,000. Don't put a comma in the value if you're using that. But if they get to 10,000, they kill demons, they save babies. Ooh, and we forgot one other thing too. Okay. So if the score is greater than or equal to 10,000, let's say, then it'd be nice to tell them they won. But to do that, we're going to break a few rules. So we're going to say this. We're going to say show this one, show message. Now you're only supposed to use this for debug because, again, this is a cross-platform development environment. They like this to work on a Mac and a Linux box and a PC. This is only for PC, but we're only doing PC games so we can get away with this. So we want to show a little, no, that's not that one. That's not the right one. Let's get the right one. Message is the one we want. Message. No, see, still message. How can we tell them they won? Yeah, I just want to tell them that they won, though. Yeah, there must be a way to bring a dialog box up. I just don't know what it is. I thought it was message. Let me try show. Yeah, font, we could draw it, but I'm trying to avoid that. Show debug message. Well, let's see if that's in the output console. That's not what we want. Text. Okay, maybe show text. That's good. Yeah, but I'm trying to show a little window here. Maybe a window. We'll try window. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Set window state. No, it's not that. Message we looked at. Message. It's not message. Boy. Okay, we'll just look through them, see what we can find. So we got mouse and keyboard, we have gamepad, we have movement, collisions, drawing, maybe something here. No, nothing there. Audio. Look at all the things you can do. Data structures, buffers, files, types, random, cameras. Game. Instance variables, miscellaneous. Nope. Particle system. Yeah, it just doesn't have it. Yeah, so let's not worry about, well, I'd like to be able to win the game. So if they get to 10,000, let's just make it simple. We're going to restart the game. They won, okay? It'd be nice to be able to tell them they won. But right now we don't have a way to do that. So we're just going to restart. So you'll know you win if the game restarts. It's kind of lame because we haven't told them they won, but there's no easy way to do that I can find, at least today. We could fix this next time maybe. But anyway, keeping track of the score. One thing we haven't done yet is what happens when the fireball hits the baby. That's bad. Now we talked about this. Destroying babies is bad. So she'd lose lots of points for that. You save a baby, it's 500 points. If you destroy a baby, then maybe you lose 300 points. Maybe not as punitive as you would like. So let's add that collision event between the fireball and the baby. So we're adding a collision event. So here we go. What are we colliding with? Oh, we say collision with baby. Okay. So what should happen? Well, just like the demon, we got to do the same things. First, we destroy the baby, which is not great, but so that's the other thing. So you destroy the other thing you're colliding with, which is the baby this time. So it's the same as the demon. We also want to destroy the fireball, so we destroy self. So remember, that's set to self. But now there's the baby. You got to set the score. So it's not nice to destroy babies. So you need to take quite a bit away. So I'm thinking, just like a demon, instead of gaining 300, you lose 300 because you just destroyed a baby. That's bad. Okay. Yeah, it should be negative. You're right. You don't want to increase the score. You want to take that away. Okay, so yeah, take away 300 points. Then I think our scoring system is done, which is good. Now the last thing we'll do this next time is we'll add sound. Okay, right now we don't have sound. We don't have background music. We'll do that next time. But let's see if this works. Let's see if babies shooting drag demons scoring is good. I want to save a baby. Oh, didn't quite get there. It's still a little. Maybe you make the room a little taller. I don't know. Still kind of hard. Okay, so of course, if I shoot a baby though, babies are fast. Yeah, can't really tell. Okay, so the babies are moving too fast. You can't really get in front of them. I'm just trying to get it so if I shoot a baby, yeah, I just lost points. Yeah. So hopefully it's working. I can't quite see it, but maybe it's working. It's not? Okay. Okay, so yeah, so the problem is it's the same problem we had before. We're setting the score on the fireball again. It has to be set to dragon. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed it out. That's what I was trying to verify, but I couldn't quite see it. So you got to make sure here when you set the score to negative 300, you do that on the dragon object, and now you'll see the score go down. Okay. Which means it's possible to have a negative score in this game. So maybe you should have a negative one too. If you have negative 10,000 points, you're a complete loser, not just a loser. Okay. But yeah, all the game mechanics are there. Babies are moving a little too fast, so I'm going to quickly change that. And then, so in this create event where I create babies, I'm going to slow it down a bit. I want to give you some time to get in front of it. So I'm going to set the speed to 4. That's 4 pixels per frame. It'll come across the screen a little bit slower. But you can play with all these numbers. Dial it in the way you think would be best for gameplay. You can choose all these numbers for that. But that's pretty much the game, other than the sound. So next time we'll talk about sound, and then talk about our next game. Then we're done with this one. Cool. I have a couple things still to do. I have to center my score. You want your score in the middle on the bottom. We might look at that next time as well. But thanks. Stop now.